Hi, welcome to another Minecraft survival skills video. I'm going to be doing a video by request today. Somebody asked for a video on redstone chicken farms. So let's take a look. Last time we did cow farm. This time we're going to do the chicken farms. So I've got 1, 2, 3 different designs to show you, and we're not going to go through how to build them in depth. I'll put the links to the tutorials in the description of this video. So this one was built by Avomance, or he did a tutorial on it, and I like the design. It's a small footprint. It was designed to fit in a 3 by 6 footprint, and it'll give you a fair amount of chicken if you are willing to hang around for a little while near the farm. It's fairly simple to put together, so just very quickly, you've got hens up here laying eggs. The eggs go into these hoppers here. This center hopper goes into a comparator. So when an egg drops into the hopper, the comparator gets a signal from that hopper, and the comparator lights up briefly. This observer right here sees the comparator light up, and that observer gives a signal out the back of it. The comparator on top there sees a signal from this comparator, and that comparator gives a signal to both of these dispensers. This bottom dispenser gets the eggs from the that have been laid. They come into this dispenser, and the top dispenser has a lava bucket in it. So when this observer up here fires, it fires both of these dispensers. Bottom one cracks eggs against this half slab, and you get these little chickens. The top one shoots a burst of lava out the top. So if these chickens are grown up, like this big one right here, sorry about that, jumping is probably annoying. That big chicken right there is going to get cooked the next time the lava fires. And when it gets cooked, it's going to drop down into this chest, and that's where you're going to get your cooked chicken from. So I'll put the link to the tutorial for that in the video. Let's take a look at a different design. Same idea, but a different way of going about it. So this is done by Zumavoid. I'll put that link in the description as well. So the Zumavoid's slightly different in a couple ways. For one, he found a way to cram more chickens into a small space. So the more chickens you have laying eggs, the more you're going to get out of this farm. So we found a way to jam like 66 chickens into a 1-block space by putting a ladder on the back of that block right there. That overcomes the bypasses the mob cramming rule, the entity cramming rule. The entity cramming rule says you're only supposed to be able to get 24 entities, in this case chickens, onto a single block. But with that ladder there, you can get 60 or to 66 chickens. So more eggs means more little baby chickens out, which means more chickens growing up and getting cooked in the lava. So you get chicken out of this farm too. These two farms are similar, they just go about things a slightly different way. They're also similar in output. One other thing about Zumavoid's design here is that the lava and the egg dispensers up front there don't fire every time an egg is laid. On that design over there, every time an egg is laid, it fires the dispensers. Here, the dispensers are fired by timers. So he's got one daylight timer that's looking at the changes in daylight during the day, and then another daylight timer looking for changes in daylight during the evening. And every time there's a change in the levels of daylight, this puts out these daylight sensors put out a redstone signal. redstone signal is read by the observers. On that side, we're using an observer. Here, this torch sees the daylight sensor directly. We didn't need an observer on this side. Anyway, when you get a signal from the daylight sensor, it causes this burnout torch here to flash. And I set up a little test here just to show you what it does. So if I click this thing to change it, you can watch the torch. So that's what you get. You get the torch will flash for a while, then it'll burn out. When that flashes, it's going to flash this repeater. This repeater is going into a block that goes into the side of the dispenser, the dispensers. So that's how they fire on this design. So you get a fair amount of cooked chicken here. If you're willing to hang around for a while, you don't get a lot. You get enough maybe to get by on, especially if you're hanging around the farm, you know, where you built this thing. So both of these are good for that. They're small, relatively easy to build, and you'll get enough chicken to get by on. But I wanted something a little bit better, so I took this design and I broke it into its pieces. So you got the one piece is where the chickens lay eggs. Another piece is where the eggs get shot out. Right here, get shot out into the half slab. Then the third piece is where the baby chickens stand. And then the fourth part of it, of course, is the way that you harvest them and get them into the chest. So I split this one up because I wanted to go bigger and better. So I did a much larger area for chickens to lay eggs, and I've just got them standing on soil sand, and the soil sand's on top of a bunch of hoppers, and that hopper chain goes, let me see if I can give you a look at it. This hopper goes through a chain and into the back of this dispenser, the egg dispenser. So I've got like 300 chickens in there laying eggs. It's giving me a pretty constant stream of eggs being shot out from the dispenser. So this could be put anywhere, and this doesn't have to be hoppers. You could have the chickens standing on grass blocks and then have a hopper minecart running underneath the grass blocks, pulling the eggs through, and then unloading into this dispenser. And they could be separate. This could be on like the opposite side of the farm from this, and you know, it would still work. It would work fine. This can be, like I don't know if I mentioned it, this can be much larger if you want. I think 5 by 5 is plenty big though. I'm getting a pretty constant stream of eggs out of there, and you can see that in my collection area here. So instead of having them come out onto a half slab like we did on those designs, I have it shoot the egg into the wall here. I collect them in this 3 by 3 area here. So you know, this size right here is enough to fill this fairly quickly. So I'm satisfied. You can also drop this down into the ground. I just left it up here so that you could see the different parts. But when I build the final one, I'm going to probably take this down and drop it down 2 blocks, drop all of it down so that, well, at least this part, so that it just looks like a normal chicken pen in the ground. And you know, I can decorate and landscape around it that way. And then I could put a little build around this, have this in some kind of little building or something, a nice little build. And this can be in a nice little build as well. They can be right next to each other, or they can be really anywhere I want. So so then the chickens get collected in here, and then the best way to get your drops is to just jump in here with a looting sword, and it doesn't take much. I've got a looting 3 sword here. Let's see, I've got nothing in my inventory right now. I didn't check the chest. Let me just quickly, just so you can see what you can get here. So we got a lot of eggs. Now this is another improvement that can be made, as you can attach an item sorter to this so that you don't get, so that you have the feathers and the eggs in separate chests from the chicken. So if you just want chicken, you just look in the chicken chest. So you can see right now I don't have any there's no chicken up here, right? So we're going to go in and harvest, just to give you an idea of what you can get out of this. And I've got sweeping edge on this as well. You don't have to have all that stuff, but it's sure is nice, and looting is nice, but you don't have to have it. So let's see, did I have some in my inventory? So I picked up a whole bunch of eggs. I'll probably want to put a sorter in there to dump eggs. But anyway, the stuff is coming through. It's going to take a bit because it's got to go through all these feathers and stuff. Maybe I'll come back in a minute and we'll look to see what we got. So as far as these eggs go, I can just toss them out, or I could feed them back into the system. It's not really worth it to feed them back into the system, but I'll just toss them in here. They'll just be pulled through the soil sand and into the dispenser, and cracked into the holding area. So let's just recycle these, and then we'll go back down and wrap up the video. So let's see where we are now. We're probably still trickling in stuff. Yeah, so you can see the chicken is coming in now. And I can just tell you so you don't have to watch, for 10 minutes while this trickles in, but the last harvest I got this. So the last time I was in the chicken pit, this is what I got. So roughly 4 stacks of chicken for one trip. So that's way more productive than this. This has been running all day. What you just looked at over here was a single trip. And then this has been running all day. So that's what we get out of this from running all day, and versus 4 stacks for the other farm. So hopefully that'll give you some ideas. I hope that's what you wanted to see. If you like the video, maybe click that like button for me. And if you have comments or suggestions for other videos, I'd really rather do the videos you want. I have ideas for videos, but I'd like to know what you really want to see, and I will do just like I did with this one. I'll do the videos on what you guys tell me you want to see. If you want to get notified of new content, I'm going to be trying to post more in the future. Click the subscribe button. I'd be very much appreciated. And I guess that'll be all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.